I'm in Nepal. Can't believe it. All the way on the other side of the world. I arrived in a foreign country in the middle of the night and had no idea where to go.
Well, that was scary. The reason why I seem so disorganized is, one, well, I'm really disorganized, and two, is because I first came up with the idea of traveling alone, and then the next day I booked my ticket, and then 5 days later I boarded my flight to Nepal. The first night alone on the other side of the world really freaked me out. Everything happened so quick, I didn't really have time to think about it, and then when I was lying there, it all just hit me, and I barely got any sleep that night. And I feel a lot of people out there share my fears. So many people warn me not to travel alone, and their words got me scared that if I do it, I'm gonna get robbed, stabbed, abducted, lost, feel major loneliness, and even worse, I could even get the middle seat on the aeroplane. But I really wanted to get over my fears because people make travelling sound so good. They say there's this travel bug, and once you start travelling, it's so amazing you won't want to go back home. But I live at home with my family, so let's just say I'm covered on that. But in regards to travelling alone, I seem to think being with someone else would magically make all my fears disappear. But in the face of being robbed or stabbed, unless I'm only travelling with my slow best friend because I can outrun them, I'm still going to get stabbed. And if in that situation they are faster than me, that gives me an opportunity to do the honourable thing and trip them up. Maybe this is why no one wanted to travel with me. I mean, I'm cool. I chose to travel alone. And let's be honest, unless they can read stars, I still have the same chance of being lost. And the great thing about being lost is it gives you an excuse to talk to people, and people really do want to help. Sometimes a little bit too much. I can remember when I was on holiday, I was asking for directions, and then a million people surrounded me, and they were all telling me so many different directions. So then I asked, is it that way? And they all said yes. But then I was like, but earlier, so is it that way? And they all said yes. And I was like, is it that way? And they said yes. And it's like, thank you for your... It was really... Thank you? And in terms of loneliness, back in London, I found myself constantly doing things with other people and rarely ever doing things on my own. But in some point in our lives, we're all going to be alone. And it's better to enjoy that than to fear it. I mean, even if you are in a long-term relationship, unless you're secretly wishing that you die before them, just so they can suffer the bitter, grieving loneliness of living without you, then it's better to get used to your own company without judging or putting any pressure on yourself. Doing these travel vlogs have taught me talking to myself is great because I agree with everything I have to say. It's awesome! And for those of you who feel anxious in social situations, travelling alone is great. Because what better way of getting rid of your social anxiety than being on your own? There is no pressure to socialise with anyone because there's no one else there. But that night I felt increasingly worried. It felt as if it was like the first day of school and I was worried, will I be able to make friends? Will I be able to meet people? There's so many stories of how people have travelled and met so many great people and created so many great friendships. And it's like, wait, how do you do that? How do you just approach people? What's the instructions? What's the step-by-step guide? What do I do? It's like, I'm human. You have human body parts. Do you want to maybe talk about them? See, this is why I'm scared of traveling alone. But in terms of personal growth, I know I cannot grow unless I do the things that scare me. I mean, I was fearful of doing this travel vlog. Just look at all the fitness pictures on social media. They're all perfect topless bodies and avocado salads. And to be honest, that's not really me. And it's scary doing things differently from the norm. I mean, I guess I could sell out and maybe reshoot the American Beauty scene where I'm just lying there naked and there's avocados falling all over my body. Actually, that's a good idea. That might actually work. You know what? I love you guys. And if enough of you demand it, I'm still not gonna do it. And to be honest, the prospect of recording and uploading videos of myself was really scary because you're leaving yourself so open to judgment and critique. I mean, just look at how huge my nose is. My face looks like a nacho crisp having sex with a coconut. I was told my face is more suited to podcasts and radio, and it's like, well, thank you for disguising your words in such a positive way, but to be honest, it does not hide the pain. And another reason why I was fearful is my voice sounds like crap. I used to think I sounded like Morgan Freeman. I exchanged the voice recorder 3 times. I was like, why does my voice sound so squeaky? I mean, why does my voice sound so squeaky? That was Morgan Freeman spot on. So people have told me I don't have a face for TV and I don't have a voice for radio. And it's like, well, 3 subscribers later, psh, started from the bottom, now I'm here. And I know this video is about, well, was meant to be more about my fears of travelling alone, but I guess it's also a symbol of the fears we have in general and how they act as a barrier for us obtaining what we want. And to be honest, I don't see fear as a negative thing. There's a reason why actors and musicians feel nervous and fearful before they perform. It's because they're doing what they love. And to be honest, it's most likely the people who have become their fears will be most likely to become more critical of you for going for what you want. And that night, with all those thoughts screaming in my head, I finally got to sleep because I drew strength from the most inspirational quote. And I think it was Shakespeare who once said, "Haters be hating,